Welcome back to This is VANCOLOUR. Folks often complain about how hard it is to make friends in the city of Vancouver, as even Vancouverites like myself will say that we're not exactly the most sociable place. But is Vancouver really an unfriendly city? Have the rain and high rents made us into curmudgeons? Giving us her insights is an expert on loneliness and belonging, the Canada Research Chair in Ethics and Political and Social Philosophy at the University of British Columbia. She is Professor Kimberley Brownlee. Professor, hello.
Hi, Mo. Nice to see you.
Thanks so much for being here. Now, I have to ask you, is Vancouver a lonely city that's very unfriendly, and can I blame the mayor for it?
To the second point, no.
Okay. He's off the hook. We'll let him off the hook
for the moment. But it's a relevant question. Can I blame the mayor? In that, what options do I have in Vancouver to meet people outdoors? Are there ambient social opportunities? So not just chances for me to see my parents or my grandparents, are there free buses to get to those family members? But also, do I have a chance to meet someone in a public park? Are there good free activities here? There are some things, there are free concerts in the summer, there are the fireworks and so on. But if our city doesn't do a lot to help us connect, and we are a big, sprawling, multicultural, diverse city, then I'm going to feel a bit lonely.
So are we an unfriendly city relative to other cities of our size?
So that's at the edge of my wheelhouse, being a philosopher. But I think we can lean into different identities. So there's the slogan, Seattle Freeze, right? And that Vancouver and Seattle are somewhat similar, and it's really hard to make friends here. If we start to build that up as our social identity, it's a vicious cycle. We're making it harder.
Oh, like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like everyone else is unfriendly, so I'm also going to be unfriendly.
I can't expect smiles here. But we can also lean into West Coast casual, right? And that assumption that if I smile and say hi to someone on the bus, they're not going to turn their nose away. So I lived in the UK for 20 years. Prior to that, growing up as a Canadian, I felt duty bound on an airplane or on a train to say hello to the person next to me.
Okay.
After 20 years in the UK, I knew I was duty bound not to say hello to the person next to me. So in terms of reserve, the UK has got us beat. So much so that when I moved back here during the pandemic, I had a much easier time connecting than I had in the UK. So I think some of it can be where's home? Where have I come from? Are there lots of people from my homeland in the place I'm joining? Is there sort of a community ready to go for me? And there's also a few things we can say about friendship, that actually friendship is hard. Friendship takes work, it takes time. And if we're busy and have other commitments, we might not be putting in the time to build up friendships.
So is there anything in particular about Vancouver when it comes to making it difficult to make friendships, or why you don't strike up a conversation with someone on the bus or on an airplane?
So some of it might be the weather, right? It is a rainy city.
Can't blame the mayor, but we'll blame the rain. Okay,
exactly.
got it.
So getting out takes a bit more effort. If it's sunny, if it's beautiful, if we know there's gonna be lots of people down at the beach, right? It's a little easier to get out. I know I'm gonna find people. Going out and getting wet, probably not many people out there. It's just gonna be a bit harder. So it takes more effort. But I think not just Vancouver, we all lost something during the pandemic. We lost our habit of micro connections. We lost that tiny smile with a stranger, the masks, the covered face, the sheltering at home, just small practices of being social became a little less natural to us. We now, do I shake your hand or not, right? How do I engage with you? We're kind of relearning how to be social. So I don't know that Vancouver's different from many other big places for that. We have some skills to recover.
Fair enough. But then what you're saying is things actually got worse because of the pandemic. Like we are a little more standoffish, perhaps.
Right. And when we don't exercise our social skills, our attitude about social connection changes. We can start to see it as threatening rather than as comforting or therapeutic or restorative. But we need each other. We are social to our core. This is nourishment for us. There's lots of Lots of psychologists have got great slogans on this. Our social needs are needs with a capital N. They belong at the bottom of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, not at the top. They're not discretionary. They're as basic as it gets.
Yeah. This is so fascinating. I wonder how much we can blame smartphones, though, because I feel like you're also limiting your opportunities to make new friends if anytime you're in public, you're on your phone.
Right. So yeah, if you don't spot the person trying to make eye contact, if you're not practicing face-to-face interaction, you're missing chances to exercise those skills. You're also missing what's at the heart of a microconnection, which is that our brain chemistries briefly synchronize. Barbara Fredrickson, she's a social psychologist in Chapel Hill in the US. She says if you and I smile at each other or we laugh at the same joke, our heart rhythms briefly synchronize. Our brains briefly synchronize. And she says that getting those moments, that's crucial for our health and crucial for our ability to keep having those moments.
Is that why people are way more friendly when you're on hikes? Because you're not really on your phone. Maybe even if you have music in, but you still say hi, hello to everyone that you pass.
It's interesting. Yeah, sort of you surround us by trees, just put us 10 steps outside a city, and suddenly we're smiling a bit. I don't know if it just we sort of tap into a different way of being. That okay, I might need you if I fall.
It's like a survival instinct.
Right,
yeah,
I'm going to turn up my social skills here. But we in certain settings we pop the phone in front of our face, and I think probably on the bus that's what we're doing now. We've all got our phone in front of our face. When we're out walking, it's not. It's a little riskier if that's what you're doing. So maybe one way to make progress is which settings am I putting myself in? Could I walk to work instead of taking the bus? Or could I walk half of my way to work? Could I give myself a chance to smile at a stranger? Can I put myself in settings where people are less likely to have their phone out?
Professor, very fascinating. Thank you so much for your time tonight.
My pleasure. Good to talk to you.
Folks, that was Professor Kimberley Brownlee. Please make sure you say hello to a stranger and not just when you're on a hike. Please, it could make our community so much better. Now, after some business, did you know that British Columbia is home to monsters? It's true. BC Bob will tell us about it up next.